So, if you're gonna bring in your car, and we've talked about this before, like, you know you're bringing it in anywhere to have work done. That doesn't matter what, here, there, who cares? And your car is disgusting. Like, there's a trash can, and then there's your car, and when you're walking out, you don't know where do you put the garbage you just took out of your house. It would fit equal in both, your car or the trash can. Clean it out before you take it somewhere, because the last thing anyone, myself, Fernando, or any place else you take your car, the last thing they want to do is rummage through your trash. I mean, I don't want to know your secrets. I'm not coming to your house like some black ops FBI guy digging through your trash trying to see if you forgot to pay your taxes. It's not what I want to do.
The guy with the Jeep is here. You want to give him a quick demo?
Yeah, I'll be there in a second.
Okay.
Really, isn't this truck, even though this truck is kind of, you know, like, wow, really? Yeah, it's a truck before it that we didn't film because it was just a quick in and out. But let's talk about this truck, shall we? Because that sounds way more fun. So what we have is a GMC Sierra, and I love Chevy, and not for the reason you're thinking. So what we got going on here today is we're going to go ahead and put a new radio in the dash. This is why we say close these, because he apparently hasn't and he broke them all off. We're gonna go ahead and replace all these speakers here. And this is why I love Chevy. They don't know how to make a 6.5 to save their butt. So these speakers that they put in these trucks, and it doesn't matter if it's a truck or an SUV or anything that uses these crappy universal speakers these guys make, there's 4 of them in here, and out of the 4, 1 of them still works. That's it, they're dead. We've had these things come in where the guy said, man, I left my house this morning and all 4 of my speakers are blown. Nothing works, I think my radio's bad. It's like, no, your speakers are blown. Naturally, cool, we get to put new speakers in a lot of these. So now the question is, what are we putting in this car today? Let's take a look at the stack of goodies. So he's going with the Exelon 594. We're doing my favorite backup camera. We're of course using an RP4 to retain the steering wheel controls and integrate into all the other fun GM stuff. And we're gonna put 2 pairs of the Kenwood Exelon X174 speakers in the doors. He's not doing anything like roadkill or fast rings. This is mainly just a quick swap because he wants obviously sound and he wants Bluetooth. He's getting both and he's getting the best of both, which is what we like to do if we can. Let's join Fernando in progress of already removing the doors, and then I'll catch up with you at some point.
For this installation of the GMC, we're going to do the 6.5 Kenwood Excellence, and for that we're going to use the best kits speaker adapters, the BKGMS B356, 2 sets of those. So we're gonna go and put some foam in the front and back, so it's not plastic to metal, it's not gonna rattle, so it's gonna seal. Let's go to the door. Alright, so we're done with the speakers. Now let's go to the bench and start prepping the backup camera. For the backup camera, we're gonna use the Echo Master, our favorite camera, the Cam LF3. Let's go and start prepping, put some loom on the wire, go to the back of the truck. Alright, so the backup camera is done. There he is. All zip tie, loom, the wire is right there. Also with the microphone right here. We're gonna loom the 2 wires together. Now let's go and take the radio out of the dash.
Alright, so quick update. You just watched Fernando put all the speakers in the doors. That was exciting. I just got back. I've actually been gone the whole time. I missed the whole door speaker thing. Total bummer, right, Fernando?
And the backup camera.
Oh, and the backup camera. I missed it all because I was outside showing someone their new stereo. It's a Jeep that we worked on, and today was the day they came to pick it up, so I had to go out there and show them all the cool things that we did to their spanking new Jeep. So I missed all the fun. Where we're at right now is Fernando just got the dash off. I am hopefully not gonna get called away. I'm gonna go ahead and get over to the bench here and start wiring up the radio to the harness. We can talk about the little harness a little bit, like we love to do. Anything you need to mention?
Oh, that's it.
Backup camera winning okay?
Yeah.
Looks good?
Yeah.
Can I take a look at it?
Yeah.
Let's go take a look at it. So what we've done is we've switched. We buy these now. These are Allen key head screws, so we can lock the plates in with those instead of just using a Phillips or something like that. Not that we've had any issues with anyone stealing the cameras. I've actually never replaced a stolen camera. It's a little added security we like to do. Makes people feel all warm and fuzzy at the end of the day, and it's about the warm and fuzzies, right, Fernando?
Yeah.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Yep. You like warm and fuzzies?
Mm-hmm.
Let's join him in the car, or depending on how I edit this, let's join me at the bench. Either way, you're gonna get both. Let's just get to it. So for the Kenwoods, to unlock the menu systems to actually get into the radios, you just have to ground that little green wire. And what we do is we just attach it to one of the screws in the back of the radio, and you're done. Now for this, we're gonna use the Best Kits BK GMK 317 dash kit. We're gonna use the RP4 GM31. This is gonna allow us to keep the steering wheel controls, retain the wrap feature, retained accessory power. That means the radio's gonna stay on until you open the door. It's gonna interface with the car, so we're gonna have an accessory behind it, and we are gonna have to add a relay to it to power up the camera, because there again, always wanna check red, 1 amp of output. That's not gonna be enough to hook up the backup camera and the radio. So we'll set that aside for right now. And since we're taking this out, we'll go ahead and switch the steering wheel controls over to Kenwood. To find out that information, go ahead and turn to page 2. Kenwood is number 3. And then just so we know we've set it, we'll go ahead and put a little piece of tape over it, and it's done. Now we can go ahead and pull off the sticker. This sticker's on here to remind you that you need to do that feature before you plug it in. So don't just rip this piece of paper off and be like, I wonder what that was for. We're gonna set these aside with these harnesses. And of course you also need an antenna adapter. The instructions, these will walk you through all the fun things like taking the car apart. And this is not just for this truck, this is for a whole bunch of cars. There's a full list of them here. So let's go ahead and build this dash kick real quick. Go ahead and pull this off. This is the trim. We're gonna cut out the center. For that, we like to use some flush cutters. Now we can go ahead and put this in the right way. When you're doing one of these, always check these corners, because every now and then there's burrs from the mold and it won't sit properly if it is not 100% clean. Sometimes these are directional, so just run your finger over them and make sure that they're nice and smooth. Now on these brackets here, if it has this is for that pocket. Go ahead and just break those off. And now we want to snap this guy into place. And then on these are the spacers so that this is all level. As you can see, maybe there's a slight S bend to this. That's for a single DIN. So what we want to do is read these this side up for double DIN. We'll go ahead and put them in the top holes. Now Kenwood uses the fine thread. And always check your gapping. Make sure that this is, don't be afraid to unscrew it, screw it, tighten it, loosen it, do whatever you need to do. Just get it right the first time, makes life a whole lot easier. So alright, this is done. Now with these Kenwoods, the USB is attached to the back of the radio, which is, you know, kind of a bummer. The higher end ones aren't. So for this, we really only need to plug in the rear harness. We don't need to plug in the fronts. Now we have these guys here. We're gonna take our tone generator. Now if this gives us sound, that means we do not have a premium sound system. We do not have a factory premium sound system because we got tone. If it would have not given us sound, then what you do is you take the harness, you plug in your brain box, connect the front harness up, take your constant 12 volts and your remote turn on and connect the two together. Once you do that, then go ahead and repeat the test. You should get sound now. And what that's telling you is that it does have the factory premium sound system. And of course, you can use the RCAs. For us, we don't have a factory premium sound system. So let's go over to the bench. Now what we want to do is, because we don't have the factory premium sound, is we're just going to go ahead and cut these heads off. You guys have seen this video before. Every now and then we need an RCA tip. If you want to to cut it off down here. It's gonna shorten this, but you can save these tips and use them for later on some of your other projects. We have a ton of them, so we're just gonna go ahead and cut these off at the tip. Now, these will just hook up to the regular output of the radio, just like you would any other harness at this point. So we have our harness all prepped and ready to go. We have the plug for our reverse camera here. At the plug for the radio, we have the reverse camera and we have the reverse trigger, because they're all gonna be located at the radio itself. We have the two harnesses for the car here and here. We have our relay, and of course we have our smart harness. The nice thing about the RP4 is, you know, the steering wheel controls are built in. And if you turn to the middle of page 2, these are the defaults for this guy here. That doesn't mean you have to leave them at these. You can if you want. The nice thing about this product is that you can manually reprogram them any way you want. Not only that, you can do double press. So you can do a light press and you can do a long press. That allows you to make the buttons do more than one thing. So you can answer a call and then press and hold to end a call. So the first thing we want to do is go ahead and plug in our antenna adapter. Then we'll go ahead and plug in our two harnesses for the radio itself. Grab our backup camera harness. Now there's arrows on this, so you line up the arrows, press them together. Now we can go ahead and plug this into the back of the radio. We're gonna go ahead and snake the USB around where it needs to go. And last but not least, our Bluetooth mic. So we have our cool backup image on the screen. All right, so this one is done. Yay, good job, Fernando. Now, when you're sitting in a car and there's something that makes me feel kind of special. Gives me the warm and fuzzies as he had earlier. You know what that is? When you find a card for another stereo shop that's like sitting in the cup holder. So like, here's our card, and then this was the card of a competitor, and they were just kind of like here in the cup holder. And you're like, awesome. So they came to us and they came to somebody else and they settled on us. So that means we did something right, hopefully. You know? It's kind of a good feeling. On to the next one, guys.